Welcome to Global Investment Insights, a weekly podcast brought to you by ADCB Asset Management. My name is Kishore Muktinutalapati, Head of Investment Strategy. With an objective to empower you with investment insights, on this program we discuss various perspectives that are shaping the global investment landscape. Continuing with the Q4 2023 Outlook series, in this section we discuss our outlook for equities. As discussed in last week's episode, while we see a growth soft patch in the second half of 2024, we think it is too early to position for the same. Especially when the fourth quarter of the year tends to be seasonally strong period for risk assets like equities. Speaking of seasonality, based on data over the past 35 years, global equities as measured by MSCI All Country World Index delivered an average return of 4.4% between the months of October and December. So tactically, we remain overweight equities within our asset allocation framework. Now looking at the two key drivers of equity price returns, namely valuations and earnings, we find that valuations are reasonable yet do not provide upside from the current levels. But earnings trends remain supportive. On valuation, after having compressed through the second half of 2021 and through most of 2022, equity market valuations hit their local trough in mid-October of last year. Subsequently, the 12-month forward PE ratio of MSCI All Country World Index moved higher till end July 2023. This caused equity market performance to be strong through the first half of this year. At the beginning of July, we argued that equity valuations cannot drive returns from those levels. Indeed, since late July, valuations have corrected and now sit close to their rolling one-year median. While valuations have cheapened over the last couple of months, they do not necessarily provide upside to equity market performance in our view. Also, in our podcast titled 2023 Mid-Year Equities Outlook, the linchpin called Earnings, dated July 25, 2023, we argued that looking ahead, earnings growth needs to take over as the primary driver of equity returns. We also noted that absent the earnings revival, equity markets may just move sideways with macro forces inducing volatility. However, we then believed that earnings growth is set to improve over the subsequent months, just in time to contribute positively to the total price returns. As such, earnings improvement continued over the past couple of months. As can be seen from the charts shown on the screen, profit margin expectations continue to improve, earnings growth expectations continue to rise, and earnings revision momentum has turned positive in early October 2023 for the first time in a year. We continue to expect earnings growth trends to remain strong for the next 3 months and provide the much needed support for equity market performance. Yet, one should be mindful that earnings-driven equity returns tend to be much slower than valuation-driven ones. Therefore, while we still expect positive returns from equities, it's reasonable to assume that the fast gains that we've seen over the first half of the year are unlikely to repeat. From an equity strategy viewpoint, we are overweight US equities and Asia Pacific ex-Japan. We continue to hold a recently trimmed off-benchmark position in Japanese equities in FX hedge terms. Elsewhere, we are significantly underweight Europe and remain underweight emerging markets outside Asia. Sector-wise, we prefer technology, healthcare, and industrials. We also have a positive outlook for the energy sector equities with preference for oil, gas, and consumable fuel producers over oil equipment and services subsectors. We're cautious on the outlook for materials, real estate, and utilities sectors. Thanks for listening. We hope you found this podcast useful. If you did, please do share this and other episodes with family, friends, and colleagues. For more information, please reach out to your contact at ADCB. You can also log on to our website at www.adcbam.com. Stay tuned for the final episode of our Q4 Outlook series discussing the outlook for fixed income and currencies. You were listening to the Global Investment Insights podcast from ADCB Asset Management, and my name is Kishore Muktinutalapati.